covering all 4 major sports in the District of Champions. It's the DC Crossover Podcast with your hosts, Mike Cerrone and Ben Simpson.
Hello and welcome to episode 153 of the DC Crossover. I am Ben Simpson. That is Mike Cerrone. Glad to have you with us for another episode of the off season here on the DC Crossover. Good to be back on the airwaves. Of course, Michael went on a lovely cruise, which we'll be talking about.
Yeah.
It's the Cruise and Cruise show, as the Nats drafted
smooth
Dylan Cruz last
that.
night. Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday. As the Nats took Dylan Cruz in the draft, we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. But before we get into all the cruise, the boat cruise talk, just wanted to catch up. I know I've been keeping you in the loop, Mike, and I haven't talked about it on the show, of this saga with Wingstop, as your boy is a frequent Wingstop purchaser.
Never been there.
I love it's the best wings. Best chain wings you can get, for sure.
I need something that's more convenient because it's out of the way for me.
You just go on Uber Eats. I mean, it's pretty easy. Yeah, it's 2023. I don't know. Who's going to restaurants these days?
Well, let's be honest here though. Like the other day, I was trying to get Uber Eats, and
Right.
I literally got. And of course, they do it at the final effing page. I was gonna say this is gonna be a cussing episode because I'm actually drinking right now because I can't wait to talk about this cruise. CRUISE.
Right.
And the best part about it was like I literally was about to go to the payment section, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's $12 in fees," and I was like, "I could get a whole other deal with that." Like
I could see you not being thrilled with the Uber Eats overpay that you have to do when you play. Now I'm an Uber One member, so I get like free delivery and stuff like that. But I still spend way too much money on it for sure. But so I usually get Wingstop. It's a solid wing experience. And on Saturday or Sunday on. Or I don't, whatever. Anyways, I ordered dinner, ordered a drink, and we open up the drink, and I'll show the picture on the YouTube channel. So go to DC Crossover on YouTube just to see. But there are these 2 big plastic objects just floating in my drink, and Abby and I were both like, "What the hell is this?" And we were like looking at it, and we're like, well, first of all, I'm not going to drink this now because it was like, I don't know where these things have been. I don't know what's in this drink now.
Well, now, why did you open the drink? Did you have to open it to like pour it into something, or?
You could see these objects are so big that you could see it through the lid.
Oh, it was a clear lid. Got it.
Yeah, you could see it through the lid, and so it's like for those who are just listening, it's like a big, like, circular black object, and then there's this like smaller clear looking object, and they're huge. I mean, these are pretty big. These are at least like an inch or so. And anyway,
look like a gear or something.
Yeah, it was like, so we open the drink, we're like, what the hell is this? And like we're both like, we're not drinking. I mean, I'm not gonna drink this now, obviously. And then I'm like, in my head, I'm going like, all right, well, not only am I gonna see, the one nice thing with Uber Eats though is like refunds are pretty easy to get.
Course, yeah.
When they like forget your stuff or mess up your stuff, or like the Uber Eats is such a big company, like they don't care. They're just gonna be like, here's your $12 back. Like they don't care. So
they only care though if you do it too many times within a certain amount of period. One time I had to do that, and it was a legit reason. They were like, I don't know. Let me investigate this. I was like, the guy forgot 2 hamburgers.
Yeah,
or something like that.
That's annoying because it's like, I'm not trying to scam you. Like, I literally didn't get my food. Like, I know what you mean. But,
yep.
So I was like, look, it's one thing if you're like, yeah, you screw. Let's say they forgot the drink entirely or this or that. It's like, all right, throw in my refund. I'm not causing a big stink. It's like, boom, done. But with this, I was like, look, this is like a different level of a mess up to me. Like, it's one thing to like screw up the food or this, but like these are literal objects like in my drink. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I mean, it's 2023. I'm going to DM Wingstop on Twitter.
True.
And so I sent them the picture, And I was like, hey, we ordered Wingstop from your Centerville Square location tonight, and these plastic objects were in the Coke we ordered. This is super gross and dangerous. I was like, I got to let these people know. They did get back to me a couple hours later, and they were like, thanks for bringing this to our attention. We take these complaints seriously. We're going to be escalating your case to upper management. And then they were like, hey, in the meantime, give us your contact info. Send any order details you have. Thank you. And I was like, all right, okay. So I gave them my phone number, my email address, my full name. I was sending screenshots from my order. I even, at first I wasn't sure where the, order number was or whatever, because they asked hey, thank you for this so far, do you have the order number? And I woke up in the middle of the night and I was on my phone, so at 1:53 a.m. I sent them which for me, that's insane for me to be awake at that time. I sent them a screenshot with the order number. I was like, there you go. And their response was, we have escalated this to management. You're going to hear from them shortly. And that was yesterday. So I wait around all day today. I got nothing from now. I was like, look, management, it's now a Monday. So whoever I was talking to, that's the 24/7 support or whatever for their Twitter. So it's I'm talking to some intern. So I'm like, all right, no big deal. So I was probably not going to hear from the big bosses till Monday. So Monday rolls around. I haven't heard a thing. But at 3:50, I get another DM from Wingstop unprompted, and they're like, have you heard from management? And I was like, hey, I haven't. But I'm ready. I was like, I haven't received any emails or texts, but I'm waiting. And they're like, okay, we're gonna look into this some more. So I still am waiting to see what's gonna happen here. Now I want your prediction on this.
Okay.
So here's kind of the couple ways that first let me tell you how I would like this to go. All I'm looking for here is, look, I'm not throwing a lawsuit out there. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not the McDonald's lady that was like, my coffee was too hot. Remember that whole story where the lady spilled hot coffee and then she sued McDonald's, and I think she won at the time. I think I'm not doing anything like that. I just throw me a nice little gift card, $25. Hey, you want to make it $50? I'm not going to turn it away.
Yep.
You want to make it $100? Hey, I mean, I'm not gonna bat my eye, but give me a little scratch. Give me a little, something for my troubles. I could have swallowed these, and I could have died. I could have died on my couch on a Saturday night. My fat self eating my 10 wings, 5 atomic, 5 garlic parm.
Oh, garlic! Oh God. Garlic parm makes my I can't say it.
You're not. Oh wait, is that a positive reaction?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Okay. I didn't know what direction you were going there.
I catch myself.
No, I like the atomic, and I will say the atomic was pretty hot. I liked it a lot. It was solid. And then garlic parm's always. That's no matter where I am. If they have garlic parm wings, I'm getting those. So I'm saying is, I would like to get a gift card out of this. That is my end goal. And honestly, if they come to me and they're like, what do you want? I'll just be like, that's what I'll say. I'll be like, hey, look, I love the establishment. I'd love to keep coming. Hopefully you guys keep the plastic out of my drink. But please, one other wrinkle to this real quick. I called the restaurant. I forgot to tell you this.
A wrinkle in time.
Exactly. I called the restaurant actually. And I was like, hey, and so the guy picks up. I'm like, hey, just giving you a heads up. I think your Coke machine is broken because I got 2 pieces from it in my drink right now. And the guy's like, oh, is it like a black piece and this clear piece? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay. And you can tell he's kind of like, I don't know really what to do right now. Is it? Yeah. I think he thought I might be the guy that's gonna freak out. And look, I was the whole time I'm like, this is disgusting, and somebody should have noticed this.
Of course,
I'm not the type of guy who's going to be going absolutely bananas. So I was
going to go up there and break their window.
Right. Well, yeah. I'm going to spray paint on the wall. I'm not going to do that. But I was like, hey, the Coke machine broke, and he was like, is it those 2 pieces? I was like, yeah. He's like, so do you want to come back and get another drink? And I was like, no. I was like, I'm not coming. I was like, I'm not coming back. I just wanted to let you know that this is happening, that your Coke machine clearly fell into my drink. He's like, well, okay. Thanks for letting me know.
Well, here's the thing. This would have been the kicker. If you would have had that on speakerphone and recorded that guy saying, "Oh, is it these two pieces?"
Yeah, that's true. That adds to my case.
That adds to your case, and dude, you would have.
Who are those? I'm trying to think. Who's the guys that are always on like the Caps commercials where it's like that lawyer? It's not Bernstein. It's like
Mike Slocum.
Slocum, I feel like is tends to be on there. There's somebody else though that I feel like is always on the Caps game, and he's like he shows himself like I think he's got like a kid and like they're playing like hockey in the garage, and he's like I help my people get win their cases.
All I can think of is when they have those commercials. It's always like FH Fur or something like that.
Well, yeah.
Talk to the guy in the back of the truck.
Yeah, and funny. It's I actually use FH Fur probably because of those commercials. I feel like what about the Bernstein Advantage? Isn't that like a no? That's a Michigan thing. Never mind. That's like a Detroit thing. Anyways, so I want a gift card. That's what I'm looking for out of this.
I think the minimum that you should get is a $50 gift card.
I agree.
And honestly, if you have the gonads to literally step up to the plate and crack a double out of the bunt they're going to give you, I mean, let's put it this way. Going back, and you know the story, which again, this is a story for another day if people don't really know out there, but if they've been listening for a while, they know. I was in Baltimore and got stuck on an elevator on a brand new casino for literally like an hour and a half, and they gave us $20 to the bar. So it's like, you think about it and you're like, that was nothing. I mean, we got literally nothing out of that.
Here, let's do this right now. We'll do this on the show. Here are my terms, Wingstop. Okay. This is I'm speaking to Wingstop right now.
You want to be the Wingstop guy?
Well, no, listen. If I have not heard from upper management by Wednesday at around this time, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, Mike. I have not gone public with this these pictures. I didn't put it on Twitter. I just DM'd them privately. I didn't put them on Instagram or anything like that. I'm trying to keep a low profile. But if I have not heard from management by 7 p.m. on Wednesday with the next steps or their, what they're giving me or whatever, we're going public. We're going all channels.
We're putting them on a blast.
Tagging Wingstop on every channel. We're talking that new Instagram. What is it called? The new.
It's not Real.
It's not Reels. It's that new one that like nobody uses.
Thread.
Threads. Yeah, we're talking Threads. We're talking locals or whatever that that
what is that?
That's like isn't that like a right wing Facebook or something?
I have no idea.
We're talking Facebook for sure.
Yeah.
We're talking Twitter, Instagram. I don't use Snapchat anymore.
You got to let me know when you do it so I can literally. Put them on blast.
You got to retweet everything.
I'm going to say, "Oh my god, that is disgusting."
TikTok. We're going to talk it up.
Oh man,
we'll probably put this clip needs to go on TikTok. Yeah.
I'm going to, but I'm going to cut it up a lot. But at the same time, what we should do, and I should put this on top, we should exploit them as a sponsor.
That would be great. Yeah, we could use that.
Wingstop, and we want every month we want $25.
Well, okay, I don't know. You're going a little too far. Okay, Mike's like we want hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I want to own a site.
I thought you were just going to say Wingstop. You have to sponsor an episode of the podcast. Like that would be
that could work.
But
I'm telling you, if you have the gonads to literally step up to the plate and basically tell them, hey, $20 ain't good enough. I mean, literally, someone gets choked on this, something like that. Like, I would put up a fight, but that's just me.
Well, no, that's what I'm interested in doing. So again, I'm saying 7 p.m. So we're recording this right now around 7 p.m. on Monday. If by 7 p.m. by this time, 2 days from now, if I haven't heard anything from management, we're going fully public. That's the deal.
That's a deadline. I mean, we're running out of air here, and this is the thing. Like, it's going to be all in the news.
Yeah, it's going to be all over the news. It's going to be everywhere. I'm going to call up my friends at 106. We're going to call up Denton Day, 106.7.
Oh yeah, I bet you $1 million. That guy's
we're gonna call up
idea who we are.
Ali Barubi from whatever Pennsylvania news station she works at.
Oh gosh, that's not gonna go well.
We're gonna call up. I don't really know that many people in media, but we're gonna call them all.
I'm not gonna say the guy we were talking about the other day.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll report.
Can't do that.
He eats those pieces for breakfast. Those plastic pieces that were in my cup.
I'm sure he does. That's why he got that way.
He calls that a snack. That's the term. So they have 48 hours basically. 48 hours for management to at least have the conversation. At least be
well, think about it this way, like you said. When they say they're gonna, make it go up the chain to upper management or some crap or whatever, and you're waiting multiple days, like it's like, all right, now, like literally, all you could do is send a $50 gift card and say, "Hey, we're so sorry about this."
That's all I'm looking for.
We quote unquote talk to the branch, and they.
I hope if somebody gets fired over this, I won't be unhappy about that. I'll be thrilled. I
mean, think about it. It's not McDonald's. Yeah, right. It's not McDonald's where they put how they have that little machine that goes around in circles or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, this is Wingstop. They have the typical soda machine, like either it's a soda gun or whatever.
I just don't get okay, it falls out. How do you not notice that it fell out? That's what I don't know.
How do you not hear like little plop?
This is where the lawsuit starts coming in. It's negligence. Yep. It's negligence.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It's
could be malice. Who knows?
It's a lot of malicious intent there, and I mean, yeah, could it have been an assassination attempt? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I took one media law class. It was a 400 level class in college, and now I use like the 5 terms that I remember from that school.
Is it a rival podcast? Is it
who's rivaling us?
John Z.
He really must have did. Oh, because he was pissed that we didn't play his song last time.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, because I still don't even have it on this iPad yet. I haven't found my old one yet. It's been months, but I still haven't found it. But all I'm saying is this could be. Look, I just want an apology and throw me a nice gift card because I do love the establishment, but I'm obviously boycotting them for now until we hear back.
Yeah, and throw them a couple bones. Come on now.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll keep you posted on our next time we do an episode 3 months from now. We'll see if we've heard back from Wingstop. But that's the latest big thing going on my end. Is I could have died. I'm still alive. Again, shout out to me for persevering through the situation. I just I made it through.
Yeah, you're alive and well. That's the best part. I mean, you might have a disease like in 5 years.
I'm glad I didn't drink the drink.
All the plastic just floating in there.
I just don't get it. It's like, is the person? Because I mean, you and I have probably filled up thousands of soda at a soda fountain over our time, thousands of cups, and it's like if a plastic thing out of that thing fell off. I mean, it's just, how would you not notice that? That's what I don't get. There'd be a little splash,
a little plop, little cannonball.
They must have been just unbelievably busy or not paying attention. But it's like, man, now you're dealing with the wrong guy. This guy has a microphone. This guy has,
what soda was it? Well, hey, let me guess.
It was a Coke. It was a Coke.
Okay. All right, I didn't guess, but all right. So all right. So Coke. Okay, so it's a common. It's not like some weird, like a mellow yellow or something like that. So if it's a common drink,
right?
They had to notice it.
Also, it's like, does this mean that nobody can have that drink after that? Because
that's what I'm saying
is the thing. That's why the guy must have known. He was like, "Oh, you're the guy that got that on accident, that got the thing." And here's the thing: it's not user error because it wasn't me, and it wasn't the Uber Eats driver either because it was filled by the restaurant. So. None of us can hold any responsibility for the situation.
Now, did you preface that to Uber Eats? Did you tell them that it wasn't the guy's fault?
I mean, I just sent the picture of the thing, and they gave me a refund. So I've already been technically refunded.
And that guy's fired, so...
yeah, that guy's fired. By the way, another side to Uber Eats thing. This lady... I ordered too much Uber Eats. So yesterday, I ordered Uber Eats. And this lady, she, was completely so with Uber Eats, they'll contact you and then a timer starts. It's 8 minutes, and they're like, because the driver is probably like, I can't find the house or whatever, and this timer starts. So I suddenly get a notification, and it's like, your driver tried to contact you. By the way, there's an 8-minute timer, and if you guys haven't connected in 8 minutes, they're allowed to just leave without giving you your food. So I'm texting the lady being like, have you not found my house yet? She's texting me I don't know where it is. I'm going to where my Uber map says your house is. And I'm like, I mean, I've gone home a million times. I've looked at the GPS. I know it shows where my place is. This isn't that hard to figure out. I watched like a car like circling like somewhere far in the neighborhood. I'm like, that's her. I'm like, turn around. The timer's going down. It's like 2 minutes left. But finally we connected, and then of course there were no drinks. She didn't have any drinks. So I'm just having and when I complained on Uber Eats, I specifically put in the notes, I was like, this is the second issue in the last 2 days. So I'm just letting you guys know.
Well, here's the issue, and I told you about this condo complex is gated and whatnot, and not all the gates have call boxes. So the problem is if you type in my address, it takes you to the non-call boxed gate. So I always say go to gate 1 or go to gate 2 or whatever. And of course, half the time the call boxes don't even work. My call box number didn't work for like 5 months. And so I had to use Jess's. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep doing this because I have the patience. And Jess hates it, but I don't know. I guess I have a little bit more patience. Plus, because I want to order and I don't want to go get something.
Yeah.
I don't want to go pick it up.
No.
So the biggest thing is like, the other day, this guy, I forgot his name was like Ricardo or Raphael or something. And he calls me. He's a nice guy. He calls me and says, hey, I'm at the gate, but I can't get in.
Oof.
So I said, call this number. And I gave him Jess's because I'm on the phone with him. Right. So all of a sudden, he calls her number. She buzzes him in. And he's like, oh, okay, the gate's opening. I'll get there in a second. I said, okay. So 3 minutes pass. All of a sudden, nothing. I see it. And it was on DoorDash this time. So I see him. This is a whole entire issue because of the whole entire Uber Eats like sales tax. I went to DoorDash.
And this
it was like $7 cheaper.
If by Wednesday they haven't responded, I might become a dash man, a dash dad. Dash dad. That might be my move. Yeah.
So the guy ended up finally getting in a thing, and he went in gate 1. So you go in gate 1, you go through the parking garage, take a quick left to get you out of that parking garage, and because the problem is that. Again, what platforms are these apps using? Because it's like you're literally inside the complex and you can't even find my building. That's the problem. Is if you can't find the building, I mean, it literally has a circle. I can see where you're at. How can you not see?
That's what
I'm
always
at?
Confuses me because it's like I look at my GPS, I can find everywhere I need to go. But whatever GPS they give, like these delivery drivers, they like it's whatever the most like it's like the first GPS that was ever invented or something.
Like, listen, I haven't got lost since like 2016,
and literally it shows, like you said, it shows you like on the app. I can see what stoplight they're at, like I'm following them the whole time. The worst is when you order something and you're like, where the hell is this guy going? You like watch a guy, and that's happened to me before. I've seen a guy like go an insane route, and I'm like, my food's getting cold. What are you doing?
Oh my God. And the worst part is like literally I like to do cash tips because I have a lot of cash sitting here.
Sure.
And I want to get rid of it. But the problem is they don't give you the option of cash tips. So I have to put it in the details. But the problem is drivers don't see the details. And unless they
just see like the 0 tip and they're like, throw this guy's food out the window. I'm not
and that's the issue is that I'm starting to say, all right, screw it. I'll just do it on the app or whatever, which I don't like doing. It's just because it's just more money to spend when I have stuff sitting right here. But the problem is that when you tip, if it's not the right amount or whatever it is, no one picks up your order. I mean, the other day it was like 7:45, and it took at least 20 minutes for someone to even say yes. And the problem was that again, the restaurant sees it. They're like, all right, let me hibachi it all up and everything like that. And then it's sitting there waiting for the guy. And that's not even the guy yet because no one's picked it up.
And by the time it gets to you, it's like ice cold and like, oh yeah. No, it's a racket. I mean, the whole system is a racket. I think like it was really good for a while, and now it's gotten just insane. I mean, there's like too many bad Uber Eats driver, delivery people, and like the restaurants don't care anymore, and then everything costs like 3 times what it would be if you just went and picked it up. It's crazy. But yeah, we'll see what the saga ends with. Again, waiting here from the Wingstop, because I think basically if they don't give me what I want, I'll become a Dash dad, and then a DoorDash dad, and then I'm gonna be blasting them on social media. We're talking every platform. We're talking the pictures, everything. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. But we'll move on. We'll move on from my misadventures. let's get a little laid back here because our friend Michael has been sailing the 7 seas, cruising around. Dylan cruising around the ocean
with what's the band name? What's the band name that says motorboating? What's that? It's a group of 4 people.
There's no bands like that.
No, it was 2 girls, 2 guys. Who the hell is it?
I mean, you got me lost.
God, it's not Lone Star, but they keep popping in my mind. But I definitely know it's not Lone Star.
That's a good beer, Lone Star.
I wish Lone Star, the restaurant, was still around. They have some damn good potato wedge cheese fries.
I don't know if I ever. I mean, I just know the other one, the Texas Roadhouse. That's one I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, Lone Star used to be. It's a gray building. It looked kind of like Texas Roadhouse,
right?
But they obviously had like a sheriff's badge and it said Lone Star all across it. But it was cool, though. It was over by Bungalow Lake House. Took over that location.
Oh, okay. Now that place has been a billion different things too, because that used to be called Bungalow Billiards, and now it's like called something else now, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I've been there.
But let's get to the cruise. Let's get to the Dylan cruise. So, I want to hear about this because I have not ever been on a cruise. It's always been of interest to me. We talked about it last time on the show that like I watched a lot of YouTube videos of cruisers and different reviews and stuff like that. The Jimmy Buffett cruise and like all these different stuff.
Jesus, there's a Jimmy Buffett cruise.
I think so. So I want to. So, do you want to give out what cruise line it was?
Yeah, it's Royal Caribbean.
Okay, classic.
There was nothing bad about it. So the biggest thing about this is I'm going to give you the lay of the land, and then I'm going to go through the things that I have on my phone here that I wrote down throughout the
Sure.
day. You want me to log it, so I logged.
Okay. I did. I asked for that.
So first things first, we fly in, and then we're staying in Fort Lauderdale for 2 days. Then we're Ubering to Miami, get on the cruise for 5 days. The second day, we're stopping in Nassau.
Okay.
The third day,
the Bahamas.
Third day, we're in Coco Cay, which is the private island of Royal Caribbean. Because apparently everyone owns an island.
Oh, yeah. A lot of these cruises, that's what I've heard that. They all like have their own little island things, and then
they build up and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Fourth day is at sea, where we're coming back to the port, and then we disembark, and then all of a sudden, is that the right word, disembark?
I mean, you're the cruiser, so
is disembark when you actually leave the port?
Well, yeah,
whatever. I don't care. And then all of a sudden, after that, we stayed in Key Largo for 2 days.
Nice,
we came home. So, excuse me. That is the lay of the land, the rubric, if you want to say whatever you want.
So some stops, some cruising, some stops, some cruising.
Yeah. So the thing was that we had 3 different duos coming from different areas.
Okay.
So it was with Jess's family. So Jess's parents came from Pittsburgh. We came from D.C. And her sister and her brother-in-law came from Fort Wayne. So let's start with airports. Airports suck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so annoying. So the first things first. Some of these things I'm just gonna fly through, but there was a lady that was a redheaded lady, which makes no difference. but whatever.
Good to know.
I just remember her. She was screaming literally at the bag tag area, like that she needs help. And then she kept yelling at people. And people were like apparently saying like, "What the hell is wrong, lady?" And then she kept saying, "I have 2 minors that are flying by themselves and we went to the wrong airport." And like, so it's your problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when does that become my problem?
Yeah. So she sits there. So that was where like literally my buddy dropped us off, and that was the first thing we saw.
Good introduction to the trip.
We're literally standing in line to tag our bags to get in, and all of a sudden she's screaming at the top of her lungs.
Great.
So that was a great start of the time. So when we're still in line to get the bag tags, okay, for some reason, we're going through security this time. So this is after that. So again, there was like 3 things that happened before I was even at the gate. So all of a sudden, we get to the security area, and this family of 4 or something like that, and it was busy. It was a Saturday.
Yeah.
They start looking over and start waving down these people that are coming down the escalator at Dulles. You know what I'm talking about? The escalator at Dulles.
Yep.
So they're like waving them down. We know them. Those are our friends. And all of a sudden, they're literally at the guy that checks your ID. So
not the time to be messing around, I would say.
Dude, 30 freaking people, including us, ahead of them, or I should say right behind them.
Right.
And they're waving at people trying to say, come on, they said you can come through, like anyone's going to let them through. And then all of a sudden, one of their kids, who's probably in 3rd grade, was like, come on, Alice, or something like that, and like waving to him. I'm like, oh my God, like, can they, like, you should have showed up at the same time. Like, what are you doing?
I've never seen that move before. The security line cut. I've never seen that before in my life.
Well, you know what I haven't seen either is Dulles having every security line open. Like, I've never seen that. They had like 12 lanes. I was like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. And by the way, the guy that he didn't wand me. He like watched the X-ray, and when I was going like this, I had to have been Jimmy Butler. Hey, put your feet on the feet pit prints.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm very good at that.
I'm literally like an inch off, and the lady's like, "No, it's got to be on there." I said, "Okay." I'm sure this big thing that's going like whoosh is really not going to pick me up when I'm a foot off that. So the guy walked out, and I looked at him. Dude, it had to have been Jimmy Butler. I mean, I swear to God. Yeah, Jimmy Butler of the Heat. I mean,
it's the off season. What? He doesn't have much going on.
Well, think about it. It could have been one of those videos where everyone's like, "Hey, this is Jimmy Butler acting as a TSA agent."
Yeah,
but I don't know why he would have been in DC.
You got tricked. You got tricked. You were doing the.
So the funny thing.
Also, why do we have to do that? Why can't they just? Why doesn't the technology pick it up if I just have my arms down? Is this all that stops a terrorist?
Well, the funny thing is that like now you can wear as much clothing as you want. Basically,
they let you
wear a jacket, a hat.
They let you waltz through the security line.
I could be like 310 to Yuma and carrying TNT under my armpits.
No, it's crazy. Like there's times where they've been like, don't take anything out of your bag, don't take your shoes off, don't take your belt off. It's like. Then are we doing anything here?
Like, why am I just walking through a gate right now?
Yeah.
And the weird thing is,
who are you stopping with this system?
I used to always wear bandanas, but the problem was they're always like bomb check. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
they're profiling me. But now I just wear hats because
I used to always be terrified that my feet would smell. I used to always be like, oh no, here's the time, because the airport's a stressful because you'd have to take your shoes off. You know, and I'd always be like, airport's a stressful situation. I've been walking around.
Dude, people that wear some outfits. I mean, the airport's the best place to walk because you're getting on an airplane. I don't care if you're going from DC to freaking Fredericksburg. I mean, you're getting on an airplane. Don't have a tank top and no bra on, and then you're running to the gate, and then your bazoombas are flying everywhere.
No, it's a weird move. There's quite a wide range of outfits for the airport, and like I agree with you, where it's like I understand wanting to be comfortable on the plane, but at the same time, like don't go overboard with that.
Yeah.
Just wear like a normal outfit. But okay, so you made it through security. You survived.
So here's where the fun begins, the funnier story. So those are just like the preface of getting on a damn airplane. So
hate airplanes.
The biggest thing, and mind you, some of these might not be as funny because they're like you got to be there kind of moment. But I'm gonna try to get through them. So we're going through the gates and all that stuff. We're walking. And there's a family of 4, and it's a dad, a mom, and a boy and a girl. The girl is probably 10 years old and the boy's probably like 6.
Okay.
Meanwhile, all I can think about is this kid being like Leave It to Beaver because I don't know why, but because his parents kept like yelling at him because he kept like doing stupid things like jumping on trash cans and stuff. And then all of a sudden we get on the plane and I see his dad his dad was not hard to miss. I mean, his dad was a offensive tackle, but maybe retired for 20 years.
Right.
Type of body.
A lot of Uber Eats.
Yeah. And he had a big beard or whatever. And then all of a sudden, his son goes in the bathroom, the laboratory. and or is it the laboratory? Which one is it? Laboratory or laboratory?
It's not the laboratory. It's the lavatory.
Okay.
LAV. You were close.
Laboratory, isn't that
laboratory?
Like
that's Dexter's. Not Dexter. Yeah, Dexter's laboratory.
Yeah, but whatever. Who cares? So I look at Jess and I say, "Look at that guy out there." And she's like, "What?" And I said, "That's the kid's dad." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "The kid that was going crazy in the gates that they were yelling at. He was in the laboratory, or whichever one we called it, for about 10 to 15 minutes, taking a dump."
The dad.
No, the kid, because the dad was standing there, opened the door just to watch him and make sure he's okay, not falling through the toilet. And he was sitting there.
God.
We were waiting to take off because this kid had to take a dump and unload a few logs before we even got to the tarmac or whatever the hell. And
that's
the runway.
The worst bathroom to do it in. Yeah. Out of like, if there's any bathroom that is a terrible one to do that, it's an airplane bathroom. Like, it's a small confined space. There's not a lot of airflow. Going around there. It's like, imagine being the one that's like sitting by the bathroom or something like that.
And it was the front one too. So obviously all the the flight attendants and whatnot are standing right there with the drinks and ready to rock and roll and take off. And there's like, all right. And the guy kept trying to talk to him. And I if I was a flight attendant, I'd be like, dude, can this kid like hurry up or buckle up in there or something like that?
We'll get him a bag or something.
We're ready to go. Put a diaper on that thing. So. All right, so that was the funny part. So for the flight, of course, I sit in the seat that this guy reclines his seat. Recliners should be outlawed for planes. I don't care if you recline, then you get more. My legs are long. I'm not a tall guy. I'm like 5'10" to 6 foot, somewhere in the middle there. It varies between how much weight I have on me, on my person. But the thing about it is like if I'm like, having some long legs day, which I was because I was traveling light and stuff like that, when the guy reclined his seat, my knees were like in the back of my throat.
I never reclined my seat. I've never done it.
Come on.
It's like, even if you're like 7'1", it's like, all right, I'll give you an excuse to like recline a little bit.
If you're Sean Bradley of the Mavericks, maybe I'll give you a pass.
And even then, it's like if you know you're that tall, you're probably buying an aisle seat anyway, so you can like stretch out your legs and stuff like that. So it's like, no, the seat recliners. It's like, dude, this isn't a luxury like bed situation here. We're all in these dumb plastic seats with a little blue like cushion, and then it's like, there's really nothing to work with here. So
here's the problem is that I chose the seats because you get free seats if you choose within 24 hours. So I always choose, if it's a 3-seater, I always choose the window in the middle. So we're together, and she always bites the bullet because I don't know. I like leaning on the window, and then she leans on my shoulder or whatever, typical thing. Yeah. But there was a handicapped woman that was sitting in my seat, so I had to sit in the aisle, which I hate the aisle mainly because if I'm leaning against the window, if I see him coming with the cart, I never really get anything anyways. But it's like if I see him coming with the cart, I pretend I'm asleep, so they don't say anything to me.
Right.
Because we all hate humans. So.
Right. And it's like, it's always so loud in the plane too. So it's like, you always feel like, I want a Coca-Cola. And they're like, what do you want, sir? And then it's like
$4.
They're like, all right, here's a big cup of ice. And it's like,
this ice is for you.
Wait, so somebody was sitting in your seat?
Yes, a handicapped woman that we didn't know was handicapped until she got off the plane because they had a wheelchair for her.
But when you got to the aisle, weren't you like, that lady is in my seat?
Well, no, because she got on first because I guess she can't move real well.
Yeah, but you bought that seat.
I know, but we were trying to be nice.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Well, it was just we were trying to be nice.
If she was handicapped, why didn't she buy the handicap seat?
There's a handicap seat?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. Apparently there is because she sat in it. And she didn't even have to buy it.
I don't know. Oh my god. Well, that would have been bad because then they let me buy the handicap seat.
Yeah, apparently.
Everyone would give me weird looks. All right. So, anyways, it just irritated me when the guy reclined his seat. And then on the way back, I don't know if the planes are getting like tiny, but like I sat there and literally I was in so much, not pain, but I was in so much discomfort on the way back.
Oh, it's the worst.
Because it was just like I literally, like I said, my knees were like on the person's headrest because I was like, the chair is so close to me, I can't do anything about it. It was like riding a Spirit flight.
It's like sitting in. There's some like venues, like sports venues or other venues where like the seats, it's like an older venue, so the seats are all not built for fat people, and so like you're so crammed in, and you just like can barely move the whole time because you're just like, I've got this tiny little area that I can sit in, like, and then after you feel like your body feels like it's gone through like a workout because like you'll be like sore the next day.
And I'm like sweating there. I'm like my body's so close together. It's like I'm in a cocoon, and I'm literally just sweating my balls off because I can't move. Anyways, that's it. We haven't got to the cruise yet.
Yeah, flights are horrible.
So we get to Fort Lauderdale and fast forward a little bit. Her sister had some trouble getting in and all that kind of stuff, and because there were storms at night, and they were flying in after work and whatnot. So they had some storms, but that wasn't really a great story. But moving on to the next morning. Next morning, we're getting breakfast at this like bakery thing, right? Meanwhile, by the way, I hate heat. Like, and you know this because you hate it too.
Yeah.
Like I felt like now. You know, my buddy wants to go back to Colombia and stuff like that. Like we did that one time. I said I will never go back there because I felt like I was in an oven.
Yeah, you got to go back in like the winter or something, you know.
Yeah, in the winter there is probably 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So anyways, it was bad. So like this place didn't really have any AC, so of course I'm like sitting there and gross. But it was
because
good,
then
it was good food.
Once you start sweating, then you're like, I'm sweating more because I'm thinking about the fact that I'm getting sweaty.
Yeah, can people see me right now? So get this. You've heard of, you know, service animals and service this and that, whatever. So we're eating at this bakery, and the door opens, and I was close to the door. So I look, and all of a sudden, this older guy comes in with like probably like a Billabong shirt or something like that, like a typical thing. And all of a sudden, this crow starts flapping its wings on his shoulder, like
interesting.
Starts going like going nuts. And I look over to Jess and I said, "What the F is that?" Because I thought the bird was attacking him because it was you know, waving its wings.
Maybe he's coming in to get help. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Do I need to do something? And all of a sudden the bird.
Do I need to shoot this crow right now?
Yeah. I got a salt shaker over here. What do I do with it? So all of a sudden, this bird calms down, and I didn't think it was like we didn't think it was real. Now I thought it was real because I saw the head like going like left and right in like weird places, and the guy's just acting natural, and he's ordering like croissants or some garbage, and he has a piece of string you find at Joann Fabrics or Michaels tied to the leg of the bird,
so it doesn't fly away.
And he's holding the string, and the bird's just sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, no, this is disgusting. Like,
oh, yeah, that's not the most disgusting part either.
And he's in a food establishment, too.
Yeah, I'm like, put your bird away. And the weird thing is, it was like, my buddy last night asked what kind of bird was it, and I was like, it was a crow. Like, it was like a raven or something. Like, it wasn't like a little, like, you know, like a... whatever you call it, a hummingbird or something like that.
Google this. Can crows be service animals?
I mean, I've heard service animals like turtles and stuff like that are the weirdest things I've heard, but not a crow. When I saw that in person, I was jacked up.
I guess a crow. There are no restrictions on what type of animal can be an emotional support animal, including birds. So apparently, you could pick anything.
We go from German shepherds and golden retrievers to now crows.
But I just don't. I mean, for me, it's like, even if that is your thing, like that's your service animal, it's like, don't bring him inside a place where there's like food and stuff.
Yeah, tie him to a pole or something.
Yeah, apparently you got the string already. Just it's like you're
tie
playing.
It's
like you're playing a tetherball. It's just you're like hitting the crow, it's just wrapping around the pole. Yeah, no, that's to me that's like too much. It's like,
so he gets his bag of croissants and turns around. And of course, there's bird shit all over.
Of course, yeah, it's fine. Of course, there is.
There's bird crap all over his shoulder.
Oh,
like all over his Billabong shirt.
That's just disgusting. It's like,
I mean, it's like, dude, that might have been one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Is a service bird,
and that was in Florida.
Yeah, it was in Florida.
So there you go.
I mean,
there are a few places in the country I would expect to see a crow flying on a man's shoulder as a service animal. Florida would be one of those states, I would say.
Yes. So let's get to the cruise.
Sure.
So we finally get on the cruise. And I'm not gonna harp on everything because when I was talking to my parents about it, I kind of went through a lot of details because they wanted to know. I mean, excuse me, they wanted to know about the ship and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the details. How many motors does it have?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we went to 3 shows. That was pretty fun, and whatnot. And I was at the casino every day until 1 o'clock.
I'm not surprised.
After dinner, we started.
Is it true that you have? Because I saw this on some videos. Is it true that like when you get on, there's like some sort of safety presentation that like you have to attend, and if you don't attend, like you're in big trouble?
Yeah. So basically, you get on and they say this is your spot to go to. It's on your. So Royal Caribbean has this app, and the app tells you like everything that's happening hour by hour every single day of the cruise. And at the beginning, it says go to B13, which is like one of the sides of the deck, and you have to go to that. And the briefing was, it was like 3 minutes long.
Sure.
I was like, if the Titanic sinks, this is your lifeboat. So he was like telling us like where our lifeboat was. The best part is we're trying to find our rooms. So Liam and Kayla, I'll just say their names. It's gonna be tired and seeing brother-in-law and all that stuff. Yeah. They were in the front of the boat, so they went to go look for their stuff. Me and Jess and her parents were in the back of the boat, which is kind of weird because they booked the cruise together. So you'd think that all 3 rooms would be right next to each other, but obviously not. So the problem is that Jess and her mom started asking this guy that had a vest on that said like, I can help you, or may I help you, or whatever. And I was just like, all right, because apparently they have touch screens where you can go up to touch screens anywhere near the elevators and like say like it's like a directory. So you can type in, oh, my room number is 2402 or whatever, and it says like down the stairs to the right and down the hallway, stuff like that. So all of a sudden she types in the room number not found.
Ooh.
And we're like, oh, okay, now this is not a great start.
Uh-oh.
So me and her dad, I said, I'm going to go, and her dad followed me. So I said, I'm going to figure it out. I bet there's some like, it's just not telling you because there's another hallway or something like that.
The disabled lady took your room.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she got wheeled in there. So her mom and her asked the guy with a vest, and it was like a little nerdy guy that had glasses, was like at a buzz.
Well, he had a vest. He's got to be a little.
Well, he looked like he didn't belong there.
Right.
So long story short, we found the room or whatever, but fast forward to our first show. The dude was the freaking drummer of the orchestra. No wonder he didn't know where the damn room was. The dude was in the orchestra, so he didn't know where anything was. He was just there to like be there. It was weird,
just
man.
Standing around.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like an odd situation. Like the guy was like, they were like, look at it, that's our guy. That's the guy down there playing the drums.
Yeah, at that point, you're kind of like a fan at this point.
Yeah, it's like Travis Barker down there. He didn't know where the rooms were.
So they had these live shows. So they were doing what? Like they were playing music and stuff? Or
yeah, so every night they had a show that played twice a night. So it started at 7:30, and it played for 45 minutes or so. And then it went at 9:30 and played for 45 minutes. So
the late show.
We went to the early ones because our dinners, every single night, the dinner was at the same time. We got the same table, and we had the same waiter and assistant waiter.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Royal Caribbean, it ain't Carnival. Let's be honest here. Right. So trust me, I've had some friends going Carnival, and when the way I was describing it, they were like, "Whoa, that's something a little bit on the higher scale than Carnival."
Right. Carnival, they just kind of chuck the food in a big crowd of people. You grab what you can.
To throw a loaf of bread out there. Yeah. Basically, that was pretty cool because you got every single night we had our table was there. We walked in, sat down. The waiter came over to us. His name was Delight. He was from Zimbabwe.
Oh,
and then there was the assistant waiter was Kadek. He's from the Philippines.
Oh, I thought it would make more sense if he was from Quebec.
Yeah, exactly.
Kadek from Quebec. Is the food all? Is this all inclusive? Is this something that you guys paid for already?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you get there, obviously the dinner and stuff like that, you reserve the time, and they have a table for you, how many people and stuff like that. That was the best part, or one of the best parts, was the food for dinner.
Ooh.
Because the first night they hand you the menus. And it has like this. They're like, oh, this is Caribbean night, or this is French night, or Italian night, or whatever.
Okay.
Right. And I mean, just like I'm wearing now, I bought like 6 Hawaiian shirts. I was Hawaii'd out. I mean, I literally looked like
you're Tommy Bahama.
Yeah. I literally was like Elvis in the movie Blue Hawaii.
There you go.
So basically, dude, you would be in heaven here, man. So we order, and the funny thing was that Jess and Kayla, they ordered a salad and like a shrimp cocktail or something, right?
I'm on a cruise.
Which is the appetizers, and then they ordered 1 entree and 1 dessert. And I looked at her and I said, "How'd you get multiple things?" She said, "Well, we're allowed to get as many things as we want." So then my eyes just opened up.
Ooh, that's a game changer right
Dude,
there.
It was a game changer. So the first night, I had a nice meal. I forgot what it was. But the second night was Italian night, and now I'm all for it, man. Italian night. I mean, geez, dude, I was
a pasta with a side of pasta.
Oh, dude, I forgot what the appetizer were, but I got 2 apps, 2 entrees, and a dessert. Dude, and I had mushroom risotto.
Okay.
And I had chicken parm.
Oh, love chicken parm.
The only issue I have with dinner though is that they give you so much silverware. There's no place for anything. So it's so every time I got there, I grabbed all the silverware.
Especially when you're ordering 7 dishes. So.
yeah. And I got all the silverware and I put it on one plate. And every time he came out, he literally just grabbed like 90% of my silverware and said, "This guy's not using any of this." So he just like took it back. So that was funny though. So that was good. I mean, I had mushroom risotto. I had a pork chop. I had like I said, chicken parm.
So the food was solid. So what's your rating out of 10 for the food experience?
For the
whole experience.
Oh, 9.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is they had also, which you would love, they had a taco / nacho bar on the pool deck.
I would love that.
Because if they had kids and whatnot, you could say, hey, if your kid is in the pool or something like that, you can just go through the line. And we had the drink package too, by the way, which was immaculate. But the thing about it is that if you go through this taco nacho line, they had carnitas, barbacoa, they had beef, they had tortillas, nacho cheese, rice.
Just pour it all into my mouth.
Dude,
the nacho cheese.
And they had cups or like bowls of like tortilla chips you can put on your plate.
Perfect.
Dude, that was one of the best like little spots. They also had a pizza place that was on the promenade, which was the 5th floor. The promenade is basically the promenade is like basically a strip mall in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, but they got some stores where it's like, hey, do you want to buy a $24 bottle of sunscreen or whatever?
Yeah, they had watches. They had that's where they had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So the pizza, I mean, it was triangle pizza. It was good. It was good. I mean, I gave it like a 6.5, 7. It was pretty good. But it was the pizza that you go and get at 1 a.m. after you're done with the casino, and you eat it on your way to your room, which I did 3 times.
Oh, that's a good move. That's a good move.
Yeah, because my trip down to the room was 3 levels, so I had enough time to eat 2 slices of pizza on the way down there.
Man, that is something I've never experienced. Is the on the way to the room pizza? That sounds like that's right there with like shower beer or like some of those like elite level of consumption. I feel like that's or like when you're not driving. When you're not driving, I was about to say a roadie. I mean, for sure. That sounds pretty good.
You would love. I mean, the food options, dude. You would have been in heaven, dude.
Oh, I'm sure I would. That. Yeah,
it was awesome. So we basically get to the casino. I can talk to you about that off air. I had on here that I was probably one of the most degenerate gamblers on the entire boat.
Sure.
Because the very last day before we got off the boat, the very last night, I was like one of 12 people excuse me. I was like one of 12 people or whatever that was left. Like in the casino at 1 a.m. They close at 2.
Everyone's enjoying their like last night on the boat. Mike's still hunting for for Trip Kings or whatever.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, I was like one of like I said, 12 people in the entire casino, like sitting there at 1 a.m. Right, we got off the boat like 7 hours after that.
Good
it was like,
Lord.
But it was very lucrative. I have a lot of hundreds right here from what happened.
Nice. So a lot of tips for DoorDash right there.
Oh yeah. We took that casino down. I mean, all 6 of us, we were probably up by like 1,300.
Ooh.
So it was pretty damn good. So we're gonna get to gonna fast forward through the Nassau day, because the Nassau day we ended up going to the adults only beach, which is key, by the way.
Nice.
You have to do that because they had some workers there that were basically force feeding you Bahama Mama drinks.
Oh yeah.
And whatnot. So that was nice. It was included and stuff like that. So that was nice. But the adults only beach, obviously you pay a little extra for it. But the difference was that, again, no kids.
Yeah.
There was like 35 people, which, by the way, I forgot to write this down. The first person that got in the water was not me. I was the second person that went. I was like, I'm going to go test the water out a little bit,
Right.
First person that got in the water. I don't even know how to put this. I don't know how to censor it. He had a thong on or a Speedo. That was more of a thong, I guess you could say.
Tucked in the crack a little bit. Okay.
I didn't see the backside, but it was hugging,
like a banana hammock sort of situation.
Yeah, and I felt like this guy held the home run record because the the Louisville Slugger was out and prominent.
Okay.
and he got whistled by the lifeguard literally within the first 45 seconds, and then he was walking out of the water, and that's when I saw. I was like,
why'd he get whistled?
Because he was going out way too far.
Oh, okay. So this dude just tore off running in his freaking banana hammock just to see how far he could get.
Yeah, he got all the way out there. They're like, boop, and all of a sudden, he walks back, and he emerges out of the water, and all of a sudden, he's sitting there with an Easton bat coming out of his pants. I was like, dude, you gotta wear something different, man.
That's what's the bat weights? Like a 38, 32 or whatever.
Yeah. He was definitely doing a Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
But so that was funny. But the adults only beach, perfect.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Because especially when you're on a trip and stuff, families can get super annoying to be around. Especially because for some reason, most families in this country just all hate each other. So the parents are miserable, the kids are screaming. There's the families are there's a couple different families you'll see when you're traveling. It's the parents that are I don't care, my kids can do whatever they want. So the kids are running around misbehaving and the parents are doing nothing about it. And then there's the families that are I'm gonna scream at my kid for anything that they do, even if it's in public. I'm gonna yell as loud as I can at this kid. There's those different versions of family, so I could see why an adults only beach would be appealing. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that when we got there, they walked us. They were like, all right, adults only beach over here or whatever. And the best part about it was that you look over to the left and there's all these kids screaming and wearing life vests and jumping around, stuff like that. The place they took us had two little coves. And one of them was a little bit deeper with less rocks, but then the other one was a little bit shallower. But if you're in the water, you're basically floating anyways.
Yeah.
So we're just hanging out, just talking there with drinks being poured to us. So that was on point, dude. You never been on a cruise, right?
Never.
Dude, you got to go, man. Even a 3-day or something.
I'm not against the idea. I'm not anti cruise. I just have never had the opportunity.
So here we go. Moving on to the best story of the week.
All right.
So we were together for 9+ days or whatever. Best story of the week here. Next day we go to Coco Cay. So Coco Cay, obviously the private island of Royal Caribbean.
Right.
We're leading this direction, going weaving, bobbing and weaving. But meanwhile, by the way, my forehead, did you see it? Look at my forehead. Can you see it?
Somewhat. It's hard to tell on the camera.
Right here.
Okay, yeah, I see some of that. Yeah,
you can't really see it in the camera, but anyways, my forehead was just demolished.
Sure,
it was. My forehead felt like it was like an old man's arm,
right.
Crusty and whatever. So yeah, crusty. So, Jess got sunburned, Kaylee got a little bit of sunburn, but whatever. So, I just felt like I needed to run to shade no matter where I was, because I was because I've had 2 bad sunburn experiences 2 years ago, which were horrendous.
Oh, they're so bad. Yeah.
So this time I got lucky. I didn't get too bad of sunburn, so it's whatever. So all of a sudden we get to Coco Cay, and meanwhile this place has been built up like crazy. They got 4 beaches. They got a huge pool, huge dining area and stuff like that. Which, by the way, the dining area, awesome. Once again, awesome. For lunch, we went there. Again, it's all you can eat, all that kind of stuff. Burgers, hot dogs, taco bar, baked goods, and just a bunch of other. I mean, dude, my plate was a hodgepodge of garbage, and it was the best meal I've ever had in my life.
I mean, that's what you're on vacation. You got to just pig out. That's the way to.
I gained a lot of LBs. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that. I'll tell you the number off air. So basically, when it came down to it, we find a spot, and this family comes in.
Okay.
It's this family. I'm not going to say any races or ethnicities or anything like that. But it was an ethnic family.
Sure.
And the problem is that this beach area, had a sandbar about 30 yards out.
Okay.
All right. So that was pretty cool. So all of a sudden, if that 15 yards or so in the middle of the 30, or I don't know, something like that. It was like 10 to 12 yards or whatever of like, just like chilling, hanging out, kind of water. But then you had a little drop off of like 15 yards where you had to swim out to it.
Sure.
So these two kids, like it was like a 7th grader and like a 2nd grader. And I keep preferencing this to everybody. The 2nd grader was wearing the stupid mermaid outfits that like constrict your legs.
Not the best idea. Yeah.
Not the best idea. So she couldn't swim.
Oh no.
So the parents are just like doing lollygagging down to the, and meanwhile I'm sitting there and all I hear is what? Like, and the guy's like whistling and he's running out there like freaking David Hasselhoff.
Oh no.
And jumping in and saving this girl's life because her cousin was sitting there just like watching her die. And I'm like, what is happening here? So the guy ends up radioing to his supervisor and saying like, no one's watching these people and they're giving me lip because when the people came down, they didn't really care. They were just like, oh, okay. He's like, there's life vests like everywhere around here. You can literally go.
Right.
And he's like, you can literally go and find a life vest and wear it free. If you can't swim, don't come out here. Meanwhile, there's like 15 of them. 10 of them come out like 5 minutes later wearing life vests. Like, they all couldn't swim apparently. So that wasn't the funniest part though, because I mean that wasn't really funny, but at the same time,
yeah, girl almost died. Hilarious. No, I'm just kidding.
Here's the best part. So again, we're taking turns going to get drinks, and I was hammering Trulies all week, I should say. And that's why the drink package was awesome for me, because I was basically drinking for 12 hours and I was just hammering Truly. They said I probably drank like 3 cases of Truly, but it was, dude, I was, oh my gosh. I had to, in the last story I'll get to in here in a minute, it was the casino. But so we get to, we're sitting in the beach and it's probably, I don't know, the first 2 hours.
Right.
So her dad is up there reading a book or whatever. I'm like laying there facing the ocean or whatever body of water it is. Her mom is sitting there, Jess is sitting there, her sister, her brother-in-law, all kind of stuff. They're all sitting, we're all hanging out. All of a sudden, I hear, ooh.
Oh no.
The lifeguard literally, you could have got a whole entire season of like live.
Yeah, this guy's work. I mean, most lifeguards are just sitting there doing nothing. This guy's working.
Like if this guy worked at Ocean City, he'd think it would be like a vacation.
Right.
Like he was working so hard. All of a sudden I said, what the hell? And I saw him run out. All of a sudden I looked back and Jess's dad is carrying this ethnic man that was really hairy by like he was carrying like a sandbag for a hurricane season.
A baby horse.
yeah. He was carrying him like this. And he carried him all the way in, and apparently,
oh my God,
the guy, it was like 5 feet of water, man. The guy was like 6'3", and all of a sudden, her dad's like, "Put your legs down." The guy's like, "No, I'm not doing that." And the guy was like, "Dude, you can stand here. Like, put your legs down. Like, I'm not carrying." So her dad carried him in all the way until it was at his ankles. And I looked at her. I said, where the hell did he come from? Like, I didn't know he was coming. Apparently he was walking down, and Jess said that he looked at her and said, "Is that guy drowning?"
Oh my!
And she was like, "I don't know." And all of a sudden they were like, "Help!
What are these people doing?
I don't know."
You're on a cruise. That's one thing, but like all right, part of the cruise is we're going to be stopping at these bodies of water. If you have no idea what you're doing, then it's like, all right, just chill on the beach. Like, there's no need for you to get in water that you can't swim in.
I just don't understand. It's like, if I don't know how to do something, I'm not just going to say, this is a good time to do it.
That's some supreme dad strength, too, there. Like, carrying the guy, like, all
the... he carried a guy, and the guy weighed... I mean, it was a lot of dad strength there, because he was hefty. Yeah. And I mean, he would have been at heavyweights camp with Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller, yeah.
But the thing about it was that the problem was that the lifeguard saved the other guy, and then all of a sudden it was a family of 5, and they're all adults. 2 of the people, I guess, were in the shallower end, so they were standing. Right. And I guess the other 2 people hit the drop off.
Oh no!
They didn't realize, like, just like swim a foot further and you'll
be on the sandbar or whatever.
You'll be back on the early or the beginning sand. So all of a sudden, this lady, they were renting out for like $10. They were renting out these like pads that you could lay on, and this lady is laying on the pad and watching her 2 like brothers just die. And she didn't move a muscle. And the funny thing was that everyone keeps saying, like, oh, maybe she didn't know how to swim, or maybe it's like she didn't do anything. She didn't yell. She didn't do anything. She just laid there.
Drew zero attention to the situation.
Yeah, seriously. And the other 2 guys, I mean, Jess's dad is carrying this guy in like the guy's dead, and he's carrying him to the shore. And about to give him CPR or something, and then all of a sudden, this other lifeguard saving this other guy. Meanwhile, I don't know who it was, but someone like was pushing. I guess it was a family member was pushing the lady on the mat all the way because she would not get off the mat. They pushed her all the way until the mat was beached like a beach whale.
Right. Oh my!
And then she rolled off the mat and got up. and the best part is the guy's like, you have to go get life vests or something like that. Like, you can't drown.
Yeah, we can't do this anymore, people. Like, you gotta...
like, 2 people drowned the first hour and a half. The guy's like, what the...
That's too high of a ratio.
The best part, though, is that they literally... No joke. They literally were laughing about it. And all of a sudden took a picture as a family and asked the lifeguard to take the picture.
Oh, my.
And they sit there and they took a picture and they were like, and then they left.
Oh, the lifeguard's probably getting paid like $9 an hour or something.
Yeah. You know? And meanwhile, the problem is that whole entire Coco Cay island, it has a freaking pool in the middle, like a huge lagoon pool.
Right.
That goes up to 5.5 feet. They could have easily gone there and just stood there.
Yeah, had a great time on their mat, just being pushed around.
Oh my God. I was like, I was so dumbfounded because I like looked at her dad, and her dad is like, screw this. He got in and like swam to the sandbar and like was by himself for like a half an hour.
Yeah,
he had to decompress from being.
I mean, he saved a life. You know, that's a hero.
I was like, what the hell is happening here?
Lord.
So that was probably the best part. Like, we were all like, what the hell? And obviously, I can tell you off air the real information. But the best thing. So the last thing I'll say. Or I guess there's 2 quick ones I'll say. So, by the way, I made friends with one of the waiters in the casino because I was like a degenerate in there every time.
Right.
This guy's name was Manoush. Shout out to Manoush. And this
I'm sure he's listening.
Yeah, I'm sure he is listening. He knows my name. At least my first name. So you had a C pass. You had to scan so they know if you have the drink package or not or whatever. And if you don't have the drink package, you just pay for the drink, obviously. Which, by the way, the drink package on average is like $68 a day. But like, if you get an espresso martini, like espresso martini is $17 or $16.
Right. Now you could blow through $68 in a day easily.
Oh yeah, especially if it's $5. I was double fisting the entire dime.
Right.
So Manu, shout out to him. The dude literally scanned my pass once on the second day, and because I was playing 3-card poker the entire time, and this guy is like sitting there, and he always ran by and gave me the 2 fingers up like a peace sign, asking me if I want 2 more Trulies. And so the problem was when he asked me for 2 more Trulies, I had to down at least one of them. So I'm sitting there like guzzling it, which is fine for me because I'm used to Trulies. Yeah. But like it was hilarious. So shout out to Manoush. But here's the Uber story. So we're in Key Largo at this point. Ship's done, all that kind of stuff. So we're in Key Largo, and this Uber is driving us. it all out of the blue. Like, I don't know if someone asked, like, how long you been doing for Uber or something like that. And he's like, 6 years. And I used to work in Atlanta or something like that. All of a sudden, he's like, yeah, so the worst story that I've ever had is this lady. No, here's the thing. It's coming to mind now. They asked him how long. Somebody asked him, whoever it was,
right,
how long the longest fare ever was, and the guy says, "Well, I took a lady from Atlanta all the way to fill in the blank, and it was like a 10-hour ride." He said,
"Holy crap,
10 hour," and he did it straight, and it was like $800 or something, $500 or whatever. But the guy was like, yeah, the problem was, though, she pissed in my car.
Oh.
And I'm like, we're all like, what? Wait, what? Like, we asked you how long your thing was. We didn't ask if the lady was urinating in the back seat. And he was like, yeah, she did it. And then I'm like, all right, dude, get us a dinner.
What the hell is? I want to know more about this story. It's like, did she piss in their seat because like you weren't allowed to stop or something because it's Uber?
Well, she was like wasted. So she was like, apparently he says that she was laying down. All of a sudden, like she woke up with like an hour left or something like that after sleeping for like 3 hours, and like said like, I have to tell you something. And he was like, what? And she apparently said like, I had an accident in your car.
At least Uber, I think, pays them for the cleaning or whatever. Or the lady does.
Well, here's the thing. Apparently, she pays $250, but he only receives 150 of it. So Uber basically banks $100 for that, like no reason.
A little piss tax, I guess.
Piss tax.
Yeah, that's kind of crappy. Jeez.
So that was kind of pissy, actually.
Yeah.
So that was I tried to hit the topics.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This Uber thing is fascinating to me. So no, I'm just so fascinated by the Uber situation. It's like, so she was wasted. It's like, would he? If I'm the guy, I probably stop her a few times on the road being like, hey, is this the destination that you want me to take you to? Because like maybe she clicked like Franklin Street, but it was really supposed to be like the Atlanta Franklin Street, but she accidentally clicked like the Illinois Franklin Street. So it's like, that
I mean, you think about it, they get 80% of the fare plus a tip.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is especially piss. I mean, piss is not like throw up.
No,
so it's like you shampoo your seats and you bank another $50. He ended up getting like about. I mean, it was about 20 hours of his life, but he banked like $450.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't know what the calculation is there, but
I don't know where you got $400. I bet that thing was.
No, it was 500. That's what he said.
Really, 500 for a 10-hour trip? That seems impossible.
Well, because the problem was it was 2 a.m. and it was late night, so there was no traffic, and there was and she did like Uber X or whatever the lowest one is. So, by the way, did you hear about Uber Share? You can only do it, I think, if there's or if it's certain time or something like that. They're making stipulations of that because people were taking advantage of it, getting like $10 off a ride and doing it at like 2 a.m. where no one's going.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. I haven't done the Uber bit in a while. It's been, but yeah, well that's wild. But no, it sounds overall this sounds like a good time. I agree in that. It sounds like something I would enjoy. A lot of drinking, a lot of eating, a lot of just relaxing in the water. That's my favorite type of pool or whatever time is where it's just like I'm just cooling off. I'm nothing too strenuous. I'm not swimming laps in the ocean.
You gotta wear a shirt though, dude. Like the problem is that yes, some people are self-conscious or whatever, and they say, "Oh, I want to wear a shirt because I don't want people to make fun of me." What I wanted to do was buy a swim shirt because the thing about that is that when you go down there, you're closer to the equator, obviously.
Right.
But it's also hot as balls. So, like, you think about it, you're going to get burned in a second.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, the shirt bit is actually not a bad bit. It's not just for being fat. It's like, hey, like I'm protecting my lily white skin on this thing, too. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I had a shirt on, and I went to go stand in the water, and then all of a sudden, like, the family, they came down. They were like, all right, let's get in or something like that. And I was like, well, I don't want to walk all the way back and take my shirt off. So I said, screw it. I'll just get in with my shirt on. Right. And it actually like saved me from getting burned like from a regular shirt.
Right.
So
right.
I only got burned literally on like the back of my neck and like my like elbows. So it was actually pretty nice.
No,
that's water the entire time.
That's not a bad bit. It's like it's a mixture for us bigger gentlemen. It's like, because there's always the cliche, the big guy wearing the shirt in the pool. But honestly, it's like, it's kind of.
I saw like regular size dudes wearing shirts and stuff like that.
I think it's just like, people just don't like getting freaking sunburn, and it's like putting on sunscreen is such a hassle because you got to get like every inch of your body. So it's like it saves you like half the time by just wearing a stupid shirt, and then it's like, all right, all I gotta make sure I do is my legs and my neck and cheeks and stuff like that.
I don't want someone to sit there and say, all right, let me get your back, and lathering you up, and you're sitting there like I feel like you're looking in a mirror knowing you're out of shape, and you sit there and you're like, this person's lathering me up with sunscreen, and the only thing I can think of is that they have to do it an hour and a half later.
Yeah,
it's like
nothing more self-conscious than having somebody have to like rub your body with like stuff. You're like, I don't want you to do this. I know you don't want to do this. It's like, it's the same thing. Like whenever I get a massage, they're probably like, yeah, this is just all flub. It's all just.
Where's the muscle at?
I'm massaging a beached whale. Like that's what they're. that's what happens every time I get a massage. But no, this sounds like overall. What would you rate the overall trip? We're talking all these things combined. Okay.
I gave it an 8 because the biggest thing was, again, you had the good food, the little excursions things was pretty nice to see. And then obviously, the casino was always fun and stuff like that because the tables weren't entirely expensive. Like I had a $10 minimum 3-card table that I was playing. And just in general, I mean, they had a sports bar there. You could watch all the games, stuff like that too. And it was nice. I mean, overall, they had a lot of things to do. And it's like, if I did a 3-day cruise, I wouldn't even mind staying on the boat. Now, 5-day cruise, you have to get off the boat because you're probably a little bit tired of the boat at that point.
Yeah.
But a 3-dayer, if you go from, I don't know, I mean, there's so many damn cruises out there at this point. I mean, you literally go for 3 days. You're basically, at sea for the first day, then you get to the Bahamas for 1 day, and then you come back after 1 day.
Right.
So it's pretty cool though because you get to see the water moving. You're booking it. Like it's pretty cool. Like there was one time where I sat on the deck, the side deck, like 'cause they have chairs and loungers everywhere.
Oh, that's the best.
When I talk about everywhere, I mean like I was sitting in this lounger with double rum and Coke in my hand, and I sat there just looking at the water, and we were going like 7 knots or something like that. So we were booking it for a cruise ship, and I was just like sitting there just watching this freaking just like fly across the. I mean. It's a cool experience. I've been on boats before, but this was a whole different animal. I mean, it's a boat the size of.
I mean, the cruise stuff. The whole crazy thing is, it's like you're literally like in a moving like spa / amusement park. It's crazy. No, it's crazy. No,
because it was cool to see this. Like the shows were cool to see at night, and then you had dinner and stuff like that. You could take a nap if you wanted to, like maybe like late afternoon or whatever. So when we got back to the ship, we changed clothes and we took a nap for like an hour or something like that. Then we got ready or whatever. But it's like, obviously you don't have to get off the boat, but the 5-dayers, 7-dayers, get off the boat, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But the coolest thing about it is that literally, they are the nicest people on the boat too.
Right.
I mean, look, dude, they're nice and they're clean as hell. I'll tell you one thing, dude. Talk about clean. I mean, you walk down the stairs and somebody's following you with a vacuum. Like it's nuts. And then like everyone's saying like hello, like have a great day, have a great day. I mean, I've used all my greetings up for the last 2 years because I was talking to every single person, especially the drummer guy. Yeah, dude, it was nuts. I mean, I'll have to tell you off air and a little bit later, like all the different things that you could do because it was crazy. Because like, dude, they had free throw tournaments and volleyball tournaments and all this kind of
That's
stuff. They had a sports court, and I mean, like I said, they had 3-point contests and slot tournament, and they had bingo and trivia, and it was like, dude, there was like so much because the boat's so big, they had crap everywhere.
Right.
So
right.
It was just nuts. Like you just didn't know. Like, you're like, what the hell do I pick here? So it was insane. But we'll have to definitely look into that for you.
A money trip there from Mr. Cerrone. Yeah, we need to get a a DC crossover cruise going. That's what we need, I think.
Yes,
that's what we got to hit up. But we'll probably be back on the airwaves. I would say, because we got to talk Nats stuff and football stuff. Not on this episode, but we'll definitely hop on the airwaves here soon, maybe next week or whatever. And football season steadily approaching. Baseball season is at the halfway mark, and then. We'll have plenty of sports stuff, and we'll probably mix in some drafts here before the offseason ends for sure as well. We'll mix in a few more of those. So,
the people have to know. Here's the thing: the people have to know that, again, off season is our time to do stuff. But again, it's summertime, so we got vacations. I mean, obviously we were just on vacation, whatnot. And then you were moving, obviously, was a kind of a wrinkle. But I was also having baseball season and all that kind of stuff going on that I was coaching. But the biggest thing about it is, football season is about to start. I mean, my coaching for golf season is about to start, even though it's not going to really matter for this show. But at the same time, it's like everything is about to start. So the shows will start ramping up again and whatnot.
Oh, for sure.
Kind of just cruising into the fall season.
The Dylan Cruz and the Royal
Caribbean
Cruise. Shout out to them. Future sponsor of this podcast. I hear that, Wingstop.
Manouche.
We will be back. Shout out Manouche. Check out the show at the DC Crossover on Twitter and at Surround16 and TikTok, DC Crossover Podcast. And the show is on YouTube. Full video episodes on the tube of you. We will see you next time. This has been episode 153 of the DC Crossover. See you guys.